caused a malfunction to the primary cooling system. Officials are now trying to shut down the particle accelerator, and so far have been unable to regain control of the system.
Ha! I'm gonna stop you right there, Barry Allen. Hello, I'm Stephen Wu from Suspicious Superhero Science, and today I'm going to be explaining why getting hit by a particle accelerator proton beam will not give you superpowers. Let's talk about that. Alright, so before we explain why it's impossible for you to get superpowers from a particle accelerator explosion, first things first, what is a particle accelerator? A particle accelerator is a machine that accelerates protons or electrons through magnetic fields to very high energies. And these machines can be used for a variety of purposes, such as new discoveries in science, in the medical field, for industrialization, and finally to strengthen security. But we'll get to those later. There are two basic types of particle accelerators, linear and circular. Linear accelerators have the particles move in a straight line. Circular accelerators have the particles move along a circular track. Interesting enough, these accelerators are airtight so that foreign objects and dust won't get in the way of the particles. Additionally, all particle accelerators are too small for humans to walk, much less run in. But, as we see in the show, they break that rule too. As stated earlier, particle accelerators are used to find new discoveries in science, in the medical field, for industrialization, and finally to strengthen security. Let's talk a bit more about that. In the science field, particle accelerators are used for nuclear physics, and for sciences that use neutrons and X-rays. In the medical field, particle accelerators are used to increase the production of radioisotopes, which are used in medical diagnosis and therapy. Radioisotopes are valuable in the medical field. They emit gamma rays to see the blood flow to specific organs. Radioisotopes also assess organ function and bone growth. Next, for industrialization, particle accelerators are used to create computer chips. Finally, particle accelerators increase security by cargo inspection and stockpile stewardship. Stockpile stewardship is the process of assessing nuclear weapons without relying on nuclear testing. Finally, the answer everybody's been waiting for. What would happen if you were struck by a beam from a particle accelerator? Not much, to say the least. Actually, on July 13, 1978, Russian scientist Antony Burgoski was checking on a malfunction on the U-70 particle accelerator. And funny enough, he stuck his head in it! His head ended up in the same path as a proton beam that entered through the back of his left part of his head and exited out through his left nostril. At that time, no other human being has experienced that much radiation. Luckily, he survived. And oddly enough, not much pain. According to an interview with Wired magazine, Burgoski states that he just saw a really bright light and no pain afterwards. He was then taken to be examined at a hospital in Moscow, and the doctor saw that half his face was swollen. You see, this man was lucky. Had the beam hit a heart or another vital organ, he'd be dead. Now finally, let's examine the scene that we saw in the beginning of this video. First, if the particle accelerator did explode, it wouldn't be exactly how it was portrayed in the film. According to physics stack exchange, there are no real explosive parts in a particle accelerator that would cause a massive explosion, causing the particles to mix with the thunder and the thunder with the rain, and then create a lightning bolt that would inject the speed force into Barry. No, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The only accurate thing that happened in that scene was when Barry was struck by lightning and fell into a coma because of the severe brain damage that the lightning bolt caused. Now that I've explained why this is wrong, let me show you what would really happen if a particle accelerator really exploded.
Wait, we're now being told to evacuate the facility. The storm may have caused a malfunction to the primary
I should
cooling system.
probably
Officials are now trying to shut down the particle accelerator and so far have been unable to regain control of the system.
Cool. Okay. No rain's getting in. bit wet, but nothing little rag can't handle. I should be safe now. You see that? It was literally nothing. Nothing would have happened to Barry considering that he wasn't in the particle accelerator when it happened. He was in his own lab. Okay, now let me show you what would actually happen if Barry was inside a particle accelerator when it exploded. Wow, that is a small hole. I don't think that I can get through that, so I'm just gonna move out of the way. If you were listening, you can't fit inside a real-life particle accelerator! Now, if he stuck his heart in there, then, well, this would be the outcome. Amazing grace. There, happy? It's also worth mentioning that if Barry was near the particle accelerator when it quote-unquote exploded, the result would be the same. Thanks for watching! And if you want to become a superhero, don't do it this way. You're not gonna get powers. Please have a pleasant summer. I'm Stephen Wu from Suspicious Superhero Science, and tune in next week where we'll see if Green Lantern's ring can actually happen in real life. Jeez, that ring has more separation anxiety than I do.